Welcome back. And today we have Steve Hall back with us, our holistic coach. And part of the series in Living a Life of Value and Meaning, today's topic is our relationship with fear. So welcome back, Steve.
Thank you, Linda, and thanks for the introduction.
Our relationship with fear.
I know, right? A lot of people don't like fear, and I can well understand that. But we've been talking about how to love yourself more, how to connect with your values and your purpose in life. And fear is an important part of that, because there's people want to do things, they want to improve their life, they want to get better at what they're doing, and then they find something stopping them. And it's quite often the relationship with fear. So I thought it's worthwhile to explore that a little bit and find out what is our relationship with fear and how does that impact us.
With that in mind, how do we create a better relationship with fear?
I'll share a little bit about what I imagine in my own mind when I'm thinking about fear and when I'm realising the effect it's having on me, right? So I imagine my emotions. I like listening to them now, something that I learned along the way in my life. It's like listen to your emotions, what they're telling you. Don't ignore them or try and push them away. So I imagine in my own mind when I've got a dilemma or something, or I've got an emotion expressing itself, I imagine there's a boardroom, like a boardroom table in my mind with a chairman and all that, and the emotions are sitting at the table. And the emotion that is quite often the loudest is fear. And one thing that I've understood about fear, it's sort of like fear has anxiety itself. And the less my self-belief is turning up, the less self-belief I have in myself, the noisier my fear gets. So it's like my fear is present when I'm not, and learning who I am, what I value, and taking control of my life and responsibility is what has the most effect on fear. It's sort of like my fear calms down, and then it becomes just more like a warning, like a pet dog. I often find, my fear is a lot like a pet dog. It'll bark at something if it gets scared, right? And my job, if my self-belief is big enough, if I'm there, if I'm present, my job is, what's up, boy? Acknowledge that it's spoken and give it a pat and go, it's all right, I got this, I'm here. And it'll go, oh, thanks, you've noticed, you've listened to me, and it'll sit down. And that's what fear's like for me. It's like I've recreated what it means. It no longer controls me. I'm not scared of fear myself, because I realise now it's just trying to get my attention so I can be aware of something. And that's the relationship with fear that we all need to understand so we can build our self-belief, and then we can achieve what it is we really want to achieve in our life. The things that we love, our mission, our values, our purpose, all of that is possible if fear is coming along for the ride and not calling the shots.
How would it tie in with that? How would we break free, really, of that fear that's...
See, fear is ever present, and it's meant to be. It's quite a useful emotion. It's not something that we need to overcome or overpower. A lot of our life, that's our first thing that we want to do with fear, is we want to stop it. We want to push it down, push it away, get away from it, distract ourselves. And this is what we find when we try and pursue what we love. We'll get distracted and we'll find that we can't achieve it. And people will say, why am I procrastinating? Well, fear can often be the cause. Fear gets too strong and we're not listening to it. We're trying to suppress it. So it's very important we get a good relationship, not just with fear, with all our emotions, but fear is a really important one to start with because it's the one that's loudest. It wants reassurance most. So we have to give that reassurance to ourselves. Take a deep breath. We've talked about breathing before.
Oh, wonderful.
Deep breath, and it'll send a signal to ourselves and our emotions, I'm okay, I've got this. And then you can have that conversation with your emotions, fear being one of them.
So for our viewers, what would be the best advice from today with their fears?
It would be the breathing technique to start with, and start reflecting on what do I really want here and what's really worrying me. So you take a deep breath in and you listen to what fear's expressing to you. What are you really worried about? If you write it down, is a good way. Just get to the point. What is that thing that I'm worried about? Because whatever the fear is telling us, we try and attach to everything. and we start worrying about way too much. But when you write it down, you have to become quite specific, and you'll find that this might only be one thing, and it stops it bouncing around and like a snowball, getting bigger and bigger as it rolls downhill, and you can't go to sleep at night, you know, it keeps you awake. So writing it down, becoming quite specific with what it is, and you go, actually, that's a little bit, you know, a bit, it's good. Now I can focus on that. You know, I'm not getting distracted, I'm not catastrophizing it, it's not getting out of control. Yeah, okay. And then you can sort of speak to your emotion. I've got this. Yeah, no, I can do that, and I want to do this, whatever it is. Like it might be giving a talk in front of people. I want to do this. And then your fear will just, it'll settle down. It'll still be there, but you'll have a good relationship with it. You just go, what am I really worried about? And if I have to write down, I'm nervous about what people will think when I'm talking to them, I'll see how that's nothing to get over dramatic about. It's not the end of life, you know, the sky's not going to fall in. And that puts it in context for me. And I go, I've got this. Yeah, no, it's all right. And I reassure myself. And then I go, this is something I want. And honestly, the whole feeling changes. And I've really developed this technique to a point where I don't really worry about that sort of stuff anymore. So that's what it's all about. And it's connecting us with our values, what we love in life, and accepting all our emotions. It's really good.
Thanks so much, Steve. And for more from Steve and living a life of value and meaning, and specifically your relationship with fear, then please go to his webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll be back with another guest and another topic.